Don't tune out until you go and learn more. Even if you don't believe me, if you don't like my attitude, my bald head, my personality, whatever it is, go dig into this method and find somebody that can teach you what this method is all about and how you can recycle and recapture your money. Because when you start keeping just part, if not all of the money that you already have, that's a huge difference in your financial life. So the concept that we're doing, the step that we're taking is we're going to use, Kristen, are you ready for it? Here it comes.
I'm
We're
ready.
going to use a whole life insurance policy.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Brent Kesler, who is the Money Multiplier. So we're gonna learn all about how to multiply our money. Thank you for being here, Brent.
Hey, thanks, Kristen, for having me. Excited to share with your listeners today.
Yeah. So how did you get into this line of work?
Yeah, actually, the Money Multiplier. Well, anyway, so what happened, to go back to my previous life, I was a chiropractor. I owned 5 clinics in the Kansas City area. And, I was pretty successful at that. And I went to a chiropractic conference back in 2006. And I heard this speaker come up and they talked about this thing called the infinite banking concept, becoming your own banker. And I thought, man, that is really, really great information, but it sounds a little too good to be true, right? So, and again, I'm sure you've heard things like that in the past where you hear something, it sounds good, but you're like, yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a catch. Well, that was me. I heard all this information. And actually, at the end of that conference in 2006, I left, I went home, and I did nothing with that information that I heard about this concept, becoming your own banker. So then I go back to another conference about 2 years later, another chiropractic conference, and about 10 or 12 of my colleagues were there that were at the previous conference. The only difference between them and me is they acted upon the information they
Oh,
heard 2 years
interesting.
earlier in '06. So they were coming up to me and saying, Brent, isn't this banking concept the most powerful thing ever to build, keep, and create wealth, to pay off debt, to recapture, recycle money? So they were going on, basically throwing up all over me about this. And so the thing is I had totally forgotten about it. I kind of remembered it when they were sharing it with me. So I thought to myself, there has to be something to this, right? There's no way
Of course.
that 10 or 12 of my colleagues are lying to me. Maybe 1 or 2, but not 10 or 12. So I came home and I told my wife in February of 2008, I said, honey, we got to start implementing this concept in our life. And it was at that time, February of 2008, I was $984,711 in debt. That's what I owed to the third-party creditors. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you come, like, especially from Kansas, right? So how do you get to be almost $1 million of debt. Now, I know, Kristen, in Southern California, that buys a very, very small house,
Right.
but
You
in
can do that very
Kansas, $1
easily.
million buys a lot, right? Well, anyway, I had my student loans from chiropractic school. I had the house that I lived in. I had a house on the Ozarks, okay, just on the Lake of the Ozarks, between St. Louis and Missouri, between St. Louis and Kansas City. That's where I'm coming from you today from. I'm also an airplane pilot, so I had my own airplane. And obviously, if I have a house on a lake, I have to have a boat and a wave runner, right? I mean, yeah, man, you
Of
can't have a
course.
house on a lake without a boat and a wave runner.
Of
So it
course.
didn't take me a lot to become almost $1 million in debt. Well, I was able to take this concept that I learned and I was able to pay off all of that debt, almost $1 million in debt in 39 months, 3 years and 3 months. And all I did, Kristen, is I added one step in my financial life. In other words, I never had to change my cash flow. I didn't have to and I didn't have to take any additional risk. I didn't have to work any harder, and I never lost control of my money. I simply added one step in my financial life, and I became really passionate about it. And in 2012,
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I started teaching people about this concept. So now here we are about 13 and a half years later. I've been teaching this around the country, over to 100, 120 events a year. We have over 17,000 clients in every state of the
Wow.
country. We also work with Canadians. And so, yeah, it's just about helping people build, keep, and create wealth through their own debts and expenses that they already have. And the greatest thing about it is that we're not changing anything. We're only adding one step to your financial life.
That's amazing. I mean, that's such a strong testimonial there. And you said that this technique has been being used for a very long time.
Yeah, it has. It's been used for over 250 years. As a matter of fact, if you go research people like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Morgans, the Stanleys, the Barclays, even if you go out and look and see how Walt Disney built Disneyland, how Ray Kroc started McDonald's, how Pampered Chef got started before Warren Buffett bought Pampered Chef. The concept's been around for well over 200 years, but it's not being taught to us. So the rich and the wealthy are not teaching this concept to us. And that's what makes it a little unique and sometimes a bit challenging when you're relating this to other people, because it's a paradigm shift. It's not what we do with money normally, right? What most people are taught to do with money is they're taught to go get a good job, work that job for a long time, put money in a 401k, an IRA, a qualified plan, give that money to someone else to control, like a broker, a financial advisor, a planner, something like that, and to just kind of do what they do best. Well, that's not the truth about money. So what we do is we teach the truth about money. Now, I got to point out, Kristen, I didn't invent this concept myself. There is a book out there. It's called Becoming Your Own Banker. And the guy that wrote this book was my mentor. His name is R. Nelson Nash. Now, R. Nelson Nash, he passed away about 6.5 years ago in March of 2019 at age 87 years old. But this book, Becoming Your Own Banker completely changed my financial life. I'm going to recommend to all of your viewers out there, they go find that book. Wherever you buy books at, go find that book, Becoming Your Own Banker. You can even get it on like a 2-hour audio version of the book. So if you're like me and have ADD and don't like to read, get the 2-hour audio version of the book. That book completely changed my financial life. So again, R. Nelson Nash was a mentor of mine. And now the thing I did is I just took the concepts in his teachings and I put that into my own life. And now after I mastered that, I've been teaching others this for about 13 and a half years now, since March of 2012. And I'll also say that if you know of other authors, I know this is a real estate podcast per se, so I'm sure most, if not all of your listeners have heard of a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. So Robert Kiyosaki, he's pretty famous for a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He also wrote another book called Second Chance. The method and the concept that I teach, the Money Multiplier method, actually, Robert Kiyosaki talks about this method in that book. There's also another guy named Tony Robbins. Maybe some of you have heard of Tony Robbins. Well, Tony Robbins wrote a book called Money Master the Game.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
In chapter 5.4 of that Tony Robbins book, he talks about exactly this concept, exactly what I'm teaching here in this concept in chapter 5.4. The problem is in those books, even though they're great books, whenever they're talking about this method, they make it too complicated and difficult to understand. And people just read right through it and they don't understand it and they never take the time to learn it.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And I know that you have so many clients and you teach so many people this method, but could you give us just like a general overview of kind of the practice that you're doing with it?
Yeah. Yeah. So the practice that we're doing is, again, the thing we're doing is we want to build, keep, and create wealth through our own debts and expenses. So here's the way I want you to think about it. I want you to think about money. So every day, the thing we do is what with money. As a matter of fact, if I ask you the definition of money, I would get lots of different answers from different people. But all money is a means of exchange. That's all money is. That's what we do with it. We exchange it for products and services. We exchange money for food, food for money, car for money, money for car, house for money, money for house. It's a means of exchange. So, for example, the thing that we do is we go buy a car with money. And I'm just going to use car as an example. You can use any product or service you want. You can use a TV, a computer, you can use a piano, you can use a vacation, even a house, real estate, whatever it is. The thing we do is exchange that money, and the thing we do is we give that money, and in exchange we get that product and service that we just bought. All right. Now I'm going to use a car for an example. There's only 3 ways that people purchase cars. They either pay cash, they bank finance, or they lease the car, because I think all of your listeners, Kristen, are probably pretty honest and they did not steal the car they're driving. So they paid cash, they bank finance, or they leased it. But either way, what you had to do is you had to take this money and you had to exchange it for the car. So you take the money, you give it to the car dealer gives you the car. So he's got the money, you got the car, the transaction is over, everybody goes home happy, right? That's what we think about when we buy a car. But how about if we add one simple step in that method? So the thing we're going to do is the same exact thing. We're going to give the money to the car dealer. The car dealer is going to give us the car, so they got the money, we got the car. But by putting our money, by adding one additional step with where our money goes first, Now you're able to recycle and recapture all of the money that you just spent for the car. So not only do you get the car, Kristen, but you also get all the money back. Now, I go into great detail on this. If you go to my website, themoneymultiplier.com, and you click on Watch Brent Now, I have a full 90+ minute video with all the examples, the illustrations, the handouts that you can download. And I show you how you recycle the money for a car. And if you can do it for a car, guess what else you can do it for? You can do it for a boat, a bicycle, a house. Again, right? So like I'm an airplane pilot. You can do it for an airplane. You can do it for a chandelier, a piano, a big screen TV, college education, whatever it is that you spend money on, you're able to recycle and recapture the money. Now, I know the world that we're living in today is a real estate world. So people are thinking, well, how do I use this for real estate? Look, the thing I want you to do is all the stuff I'm telling you today, do not take my word for any of this. Don't believe me. What I want you to do is I want you to go Google my name, Brent Kesler, go Google the Money Multiplier.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I want you to go look at all of the success stories, the case studies, the plan designs, the testimonials of the hundreds, if not thousands of people that you'll find out there to see how we have helped them to apply this concept in their financial life and what they're doing with it. Most of our events that we do, and I say most, which means more than 50%, is real estate related. I'm going to give you an example. And I know we were talking offline a little bit, again, right? So like I am a real estate investor myself, right? But okay, and yes, I make money from the real estate, but I'm also double dipping on that money because I make money when I buy the real estate because I'm recycling that money and I can buy real estate using the same money over and over again. And I'm going to give you an example of a guy. His name is Devin Burr. Devin Burr, B-U-R-R, but he's on social media out there. And again, he's a client, which he's now a colleague of mine, and he goes by Mr._Burr. So MR_Burr, B-R-R-R-R. And so he is a real estate investor out in Phoenix, Arizona. And Devin goes into great detail on his social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff that I don't really know how to use, but he does very good, and he goes into detail of how he buys these properties, and he's using that money. He's buying the properties with the same money that he continuously uses over and over again. So I do that with my properties that I buy. I have long-term rentals, short-term rentals, Airbnbs, VRBOs. I even have some raw land. I even do a lot of lending on real estate, whether it's just whether I lend somebody money for a house, whether I lend money to a real estate developer that's starting a community, right? So I do a lot with real estate. I do a lot with that, but I run all my money through this process first, through the infinite banking concept, the money multiplier method. Now, I know the $1 million question is, what is it? What do we do? What's that thing that you do first? Well, I'm going to tell you what that is, Kristen. And as soon as I tell you, we're going to lose about 1/3 of your viewers when I open my mouth and tell you what it is, because they're not going to believe it. They're going to be like me. Remember, it took me 2 years because I thought it was too good to be true, and I thought there had to be a catch. So after I tell you, which I'm going to do here in about 30 seconds, is tell you exactly the concept and the method or the step that we're going to take, a lot of your viewers are going to tune out. But I'm going to tell you, don't tune out until you go and learn more. Even if you don't believe me, if you don't like my attitude, my bald head, my personality, whatever it is, go dig into this method and find somebody that can teach you what this method is all about and how you can recycle and recapture your money. Because when you start keeping just part, if not all, of the money that you already have, that's a huge difference in your financial life. So the concept that we're doing, the step that we're taking is we're going to use, Kristen, are you ready for it? Here it comes.
I'm
We're
ready.
going to use a whole life insurance policy that's going to help us build, keep, and create wealth. Now, I just lost a lot of viewers when I said life insurance, because here's what they're thinking. They're thinking, what? We're going to build wealth by using life insurance? That's a crazy idea. That's stupid and ridiculous. I know everything there is to know about life insurance, and that's a bad, bad idea because Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman told me it was a bad idea. Well, let me tell you, you do not know everything about this concept, because if you did, you would be implementing it in your own life. If you really knew how powerful this method was to build wealth, you would be lined up down the street to get in the door to get some. You just don't know because you've never been taught. I was never taught. As a matter of fact, after I really dug into this and I understood it, I was mad at my parents and grandparents. You know why I was mad at them, Kristen? Because they never told me about this method. Do you know why they didn't tell me? Because nobody ever told them. You see, nobody's going to talk to you about this. Very, very few people will you ever hear about this. Your financial coaches, your advisors, your CPAs, whoever's managing your money, your stockbroker, they will not tell you about this concept. They're like, life insurance is a bad idea. Now, let me be clear. This is not any type of life insurance. This is no. This is not a term policy, a variable. It's not a universal policy. It's not a UL. It's not an IUL, an index universal life policy. This is a specifically designed, specially engineered whole life insurance policy that is in a mutual company that is specifically designed for high immediate cash value. One more time, high immediate cash value. What that means, Kristen, is when you put money into this policy, you immediately have the cash value to use. And my definition of immediately is within 30 days. So when you put money into the policy, immediately within 30 days, you have that money to use for anything that you want to use that money for, any product and service. And probably for your viewers, it's going to be real estate. And what do real estate investors want? They want access to their cash. They want access to the liquidity of their money. And when do they want it? They want it yesterday. They don't want to have to wait to get the money. So by adding this one step into your financial life, not only are you able to buy your real estate, okay, and I'm using the example of real estate, not only are you able to buy the real estate and acquire the real estate, which we're hoping is an appreciating asset. And as we all know, sometimes real estate will go down, but it'll always come back. All right. I've never bought a piece of real estate that I regret buying, but there's been lots of pieces of real estate that I didn't buy that I wish I would have. And there's been even more of a shitload of real estate that I've sold that I wish I would have never sold. All right. So it'll always come back. But the thing is, not only do you have the real estate, but you've also got that money, because that money, Kristen, is continuing to compound and grow, even though you're using it to make all of your purchases. Even though you're using it to make your real estate purchases, the money is still growing in your account as it never left your account. And when you add this concept to your financial life, it completely changes the way you look at money. Just imagine, Kristen, if we could keep everything that we get. Just imagine if we could keep all of the money that comes in and there's no money being leaked out to other people. In other words, you're recycling, recapturing the money. On that, okay, so the thing is, on that concept, if you go to the website, themoneymultiplier.com, click on Watch Brent Now, a 90-plus minute video. I go through it in great detail. You're still going to have questions. And if you have questions, ask them. There's lots of people on our team that are happy to answer your questions. I also wrote a book, Kristen, called Mapping Out the Millionaire Mystery. I'm going to share this with all of your viewers. I'm going to give the ebook version to all of your viewers. All you got to do is send me an email, brent@themoneymultiplier.com. I'll send you the ebook version. I wrote this book with a guy named Chris Naugle. A lot of you guys have heard of Chris Naugle, especially in the real estate world. Naugla. Chris lives in Buffalo, New York, very big in the real estate world. He's had a TV show on House Hunters, another one on HGTV called Risky Builders. Chris was a client of mine, now a colleague. He teaches this concept a lot. Go follow Chris Naugle. Watch what he's doing. Watch what he's teaching about this concept. So lots of resources. My daughter does a podcast, the Money Multiplier podcast, over 130 episodes, records one every single week. All of the information we give away for free. Everything we do, we give all of our content, all of our information away for free. Hopefully, if you utilize this concept in your own financial life, you'll work with us at the Money Multiplier, but you don't have to. There's other people out there that do it, but hopefully, since you learned it from us, you'll work with us if you do. But if not, there's other people out there that'll treat you good too.
That is incredible. I mean, you make me very excited about it with your enthusiasm. And you also
Yeah,
made
I'll try to bring the heat the next time we talk.
yeah, you made my job very easy. You answered all of the questions that I had. And we're already at the end of our time. So please
Oh.
remind everybody where to find you and how to email you or where to email you.
Absolutely. So yeah. So anyway, so my email is brent@themoneymultiplier.com, Brent, the @, the word moneymultiplier.com, brent@themoneymultiplier.com. Or you can go to our website, www.themoneymultiplier.com. We have the podcast that my daughter does, the Money Multiplier podcast. And again, if you send me an email, I'll send you the ebook. I'll send you the 90+ minute recorded presentation, or if you don't want to send me an email, just go to the website, click on Watch Brent Now. I think the ebook might be back there somewhere. If you can't find it, just just reach out and just let us know.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I think this could really help a lot of people, set them off on a new path.
Absolutely, Kristen. It is game changing. It is a life altering event. Even if you don't believe the stuff that I'm saying, or you have a lot of hesitancy, or you're just like, man, there's got to be a catch. I get it. I was in the same boat in 2006 for 2 years. All I'm going to say to you is go out, don't listen to me. Go out and Google us, Google my name, go look at all of the case studies, plan design, success stories, and testimonials, and see what other people are saying about this method and how they're using it in their own life.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much, Brent, for being here and for, teaching everybody about this method.
Thanks, Kristen. I look forward to serving your viewers in the future. Thanks for having me on today.
Awesome. And thank you, everybody, for listening. We will see you back next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.